Have you ever wondered how a simple boy with a cheap guitar became one of the most powerful voices the world has ever heard, yet died feeling completely alone? That question is at the heart of today's story. Welcome to a journey through the real life of Elvis Presley, a story of talent, pain, dreams, fame, and the heavy cost of becoming a legend. And while you listen, you'll also improve your English naturally through emotional storytelling, rich vocabulary, and clear, simple narration designed to help your fluency grow. If you love music, if you love true stories, if you want to feel something real, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Elvis Presley's story begins on a cold January night in 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi. His mother, Gladys Presley, was in labor with twins. The first baby, Jessie, arrived without a sound, stillborn. The second baby arrived minutes later, crying so loudly the neighbors heard him. That child was Elvis. From his very first breath, Elvis lived with a silent shadow beside him, the brother he would never know, but always feel. Later, he said, "I always felt like someone else should be walking through life with me." Elvis grew up poor, beyond poor. The Presleys lived in a tiny wooden house with no electricity and no running water. His father worked small jobs. His mother washed clothes for neighbors. Some nights, they didn't have enough food. But what Elvis lacked in money, he had in love. Gladys adored him, protected him, and filled his world with warmth he never forgot. Music surrounded him before he even understood it. Gospel songs in church, blues drifting from open windows, country music on cheap radios. Elvis didn't just hear music. He absorbed it. He let it sit in his bones. At 10 years old, he entered a local singing contest. He didn't win, but something inside him woke up, a quiet belief that maybe, just maybe, he had a gift. For his 11th birthday, Elvis wanted a rifle. Instead, his mother bought him a guitar. He didn't smile. He didn't know how to use it. But slowly, day by day, note by note, that guitar became his escape, a doorway to a bigger world. At 13, the family moved to Memphis, Tennessee. New city, new schools, new struggles. Elvis was shy, quiet, different. Kids at school laughed at his clothes and his dreams. But he kept playing, kept singing, kept imagining life on a stage. Something inside him refused to die. In 1953, an 18-year-old Elvis walked into Sun Records, a small studio in Memphis. He wanted to record a song as a gift for his mother, but deep inside, he hoped someone would hear him. He paid $3.98, stood in front of a simple microphone, and sang with a voice that carried softness, sadness, and soul. Months later, Sam Phillips, the owner of Sun Records, asked Elvis to come back and try recording again. 4 hours. Nothing worked. They were ready to give up. Then, during a break, Elvis started fooling around with an upbeat blues song called "That's All Right." He didn't sing it like anyone else. He shook the rhythm. He added laughter. He played with energy. He turned it into something brand new. Sam ran into the room and said, "Whatever you're doing, do it again." That moment was the spark. Rock and roll had been waiting for a face. Now it had one. Once "That's All Right" hit the radio, everything changed. Audiences couldn't tell if Elvis was black or white. They only knew his sound felt alive. His performances turned into explosions, hips moving, legs shaking, voice full of fire. Girls screamed, fainted, cried. Parents panicked. Preachers called him dangerous. Young people called him exciting. Elvis's fame spread across America like lightning. Television shows invited him. Studios fought over him. Radio stations played him non-stop. And suddenly, the shy boy from Mississippi became the most talked about young man in the country. But fame, as we know, comes with a price. Colonel Tom Parker, the man who became Elvis's manager, saw Elvis as a golden opportunity. He pushed Elvis into Hollywood movies, music contracts, and non-stop publicity. The money was huge. The fame was bigger. But the cost was invisible. Elvis dreamed of serious acting. Instead, he filmed light musical comedies again and again. He wanted creative freedom. Instead, Parker controlled every decision. He once told a friend, "I feel like I don't own myself anymore." And while the world saw a rising star, Elvis felt something slipping away, his identity. In 1958, Elvis was drafted into the U.S. Army. Some thought it would destroy his career. But Elvis didn't fight it. He wanted to show he was no different from any other American. But something devastating happened before he left. His mother, his greatest love, his anchor, his emotional home, became seriously ill. Elvis rushed to her side. She passed away at only 46. Elvis broke down in a way the world never saw. He lost not just a parent, but the person who shaped his heart. That loss stayed with him forever. While stationed in Germany, he met a young girl named Priscilla. She was gentle, quiet, and warm, a reminder of the peace he had lost. Their connection grew, eventually leading to marriage and the birth of their daughter, Lisa Marie. For a moment, Elvis felt grounded again. The world changed in the 1960s. New artists, new sounds, new culture. People wondered if Elvis was outdated. Then came the 1968 TV special, the Comeback Special. Elvis walked on stage in a black leather suit, surrounded by a small audience. No big sets. No movie scripts. No distractions. Just Elvis. Raw. Alive. Explosive. He sang with fire and pain. He moved with confidence and hunger. He performed like a man reclaiming his crown. That night, Elvis was reborn. After the comeback, Elvis began performing in Las Vegas. At first, the shows were electric. Crowds filled the room. His voice soared. His presence dominated the stage. But over time, the schedule became brutal. 2 shows a day, 7 days a week. To keep going, Elvis began relying on prescription drugs. Pills to sleep, pills to wake up, pills to perform. The medications weren't for fun. They were survival. But the more he took, the more his body suffered. Meanwhile, his marriage fell apart. Priscilla left in 1972. Elvis loved her deeply but didn't know how to keep her. He lived surrounded by people, but felt completely alone. He once told a friend, "I'm tired of being Elvis Presley." By the mid-1970s, Elvis's health was collapsing. He gained weight. His energy faded. His memory slipped. But he still performed because he felt he had to, financially, emotionally, and for the fans who still adored him. In August 1977, Elvis returned to Graceland after a long night of reading and restlessness. He went into the bathroom and never came back out. The king of rock and roll was gone at 42. The world cried. Fans filled the streets. Radio stations played "Can't Help Falling in Love" for days. And even now, decades later, millions still visit his grave. Because Elvis didn't just change music. He changed culture, style, emotion, and the idea of what a performer could be. Elvis Presley's life teaches us many things. Talent can lift you from nothing to everything. Fame can shine bright, but burn even brighter. Love can save you, but loss can shape you. And even legends are human, fragile, and searching for peace. But his story also teaches this. Greatness is not about perfection. It's about giving your heart to the world. And Elvis gave more than most ever will. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.